again now for the next part. As I said, we're filming this as well. We're back with Martin Hossack. We're just going to carry on with the conversation of swine flu and the flu vaccine. Obviously, Martin was pointing the fact that they are one of the same now.
Exactly. You know, so anybody that's been unfortunate already and been and had the flu vaccine, it's guaranteed that the swine flu vaccine is part of it. You can't even get away with paying private. I looked at going to Morrison's, who also sell the vaccine, the people obviously in the high street, and even these vaccines have got the swine flu attached to them as well, so there's no getting out of it.
Dave, what you've got in essence here is the Rockefeller Foundation, the Rothschilds, obviously you've got the Zionists from the top there.
Correct.
The World Health Organization.
Yeah. They
are doctored last year. They put out this swine flu that everybody's going to be having. It's going to be harsh, and thousands, 100,000 will die. It never happened. So they've got all this stock left over.
That's right. That they're now looking to pump into the British public.
Yeah.
And the two main key issues is that when they do that, number one, it affects the immune system, and it makes women infertile, which is all part of the New World Order, again the Rothschild and Rockefellers, to reduce the population, which is also now got David Cameron behind it, and as I say in the past, Gordon Brown from the Fabian Society. So it's guaranteed that we're heading towards, you know, these two distinctive groups of people, rich and poor, and you know the British public will become slaves without the shackles, and it'll be the rich people obviously that are running the country with the system, like we've said.
Well, I mean, it's funny before that with John the Cameraman, we were listening to a clip by Bill Gates, and he actually said in a sort of indirect way that he felt through vaccinating people that it's a great way of bringing the population down. That's somebody, I mean, we know how connected he is to the top, but they're looking at vaccines as a clear method in order, I mean, as you said, with ladies, and it's killing the sperm count as well. With
I think what you have to look at, it was estimated last year when there was talk of the swine flu, it was estimated that there would be 65,000 people that would lose their lives due to swine flu, with an epidemic that never even existed in the first place. And where the government went wrong was the promotion of the swine flu and what was going to happen. They did it too early, because it allowed people obviously to get on the internet to get advice and guidance, research it, and what was found out was that you know, it was monkey flu. Yeah. You know, 2 sneezes, a cough, and it's gone.
Yeah.
You know.
It's not, I mean, when you say flu, I mean it's short for influenza, and if you have influenza, common influenza, you don't go to work for a good week. You know?
That's right.
And like I say, people just assume flu now is I've got a cold, and it's not the case as you're saying.
That's right. See, 65,000 people would have had that swine flu jab last year. Let's just look at the scenario that each and every one of us spread that swine flu to a colleague at work. Yeah. That would have been 130,000.
Pandemic.
260. Yeah. You know, so this is what you're looking at. So, you know, for them to come back and have the cheek to try and push this onto the British public once again, my God, they must be thick.
Well, it's funny, in conjunction with that, they're saying now that how they know already, and we've been saying this for the last 6 weeks, that we are we're about to suffer a really, really harsh winter.
That's right.
And we're all going to be suffering from colds, and it's preparation for everybody. I better take the swine flu, I better go and get that in before, you know. It's all part of it there.
Yet it was ironic. Last year, the one thing they were saying was, unlike ordinary flu, doesn't matter how cold it is, it won't kill the swine flu. Yeah. Now we can see why they were saying that. Yeah. You know, whereby we know that, you know, how many of us on a winter's day have gone out in November, December, January, the sun's been shining, you took your coat off because it felt like a spring day, and you've said, this is where you get your colds from. Yeah. You know, hot to cold. You know, so I think even though it's pie in the sky, to be perfectly honest with you.
we're missing here as well, we've not touched on, is the actual money that these guys at the top are making from selling these vaccines on as well.
A phenomenal amount of money. And you know, this is what's sickening, because it's not just about Rothschild and Rockefeller here. You know, it's the amount of funding that this topic is actually funding. You know, we know the Fabian Society's involved.
Yeah.
You know, we've talked about
common purpose.
Common purpose. There's
It's big pharma seem to be the ones who are producing this and
good
getting
grief.
this out, and it's the advertising campaign that they've got going out there.
That's right.
If you consider that, I'm just looking at the list that you've sent me some emails there with some of the, I don't know if ingredients is the right word, but you know, squalene and mercury in the vaccines.
You know, how long have these chemicals been good for the body? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, you know, you've got to be pretty naive, I think, now to trust the government. The first thing that I would have done if I'd have believed in that, if I'd have been Gordon Brown last year, Tony Blair, or even David Cameron, I'd have pumped it into my kids in front of the whole world.
Yeah.
I'd have said, here, my kids need this, because it's going to prevent them from having the swine flu, or it's going to prevent the condition.
Yeah.
Did they do that?
No.
No.
I mean, you mentioned a chap called Len Horowitz, and he's been saying this since he's blaming the vaccines on cancer, multiple sclerosis, which I mentioned before, and he actually put it to a nurse when they were with these vaccines, and she would not put it into her own body. So this just shows you that the cover-up that's out there.
I think lock, stock and barrel, there has not been enough research.
No.
You know, especially with the respiratory department, and also, you know, people that suffer with asthma, multiple sclerosis.
Yeah.
God knows what effects this can have on people further on the road.
But then again, as you said, it's going on to the children as well, because what's in our systems, you're only passing it on.
You know, but this is the tip of the iceberg. If we look at this and we start to really dig deep, and we look at the chemtrails, we look at the fluoride in water, you know, never mind smoking and cancer, and the bit of cannabis that people smoke. Let's look at the reality of what we're pumping into our bodies.
Well,
colours and additives in tin foods.
So, all right, and you've got first-hand experience here. You've had enough for you, because you're clued up to go and get a second opinion.
Yes.
But you've seen it firsthand what they're trying to do.
Definitely.
Right.
Definitely. And you know, this is what I'll say. Where the National Health Service is concerned now, you know, I would have thought that, look at my situation. I've got a problem with my throat. It feels as though my breathing has been restricted. I went to the consultant and gave him all the symptoms of what I was suffering. I would have thought the least he would have done would have put an endoscopy in there, got the camera down to have had a look. Didn't even do that. Now let's just say that, how about that if that had been cancerous? How about if there had been a major growth? You know, he was putting his job on the line, putting the public at risk, and he wasn't utilising the correct protocol of his job. You know, so therefore, when you look at the charter, the hospital charter, the public charter, these people are going to be sued for millions, man. You know, because that's where I am. I'm now looking to sue the hospital, to sue the people around me, including the consultant who didn't carry out his duty properly. You know, you look at the chief executives of hospitals. The NHS in Dudley is run by a lady by the name of Paula Clark. I've had a reply from that lady this week, the chief executive. You've never heard such a load of bunkum. The lady must be on drugs. But we know why. She's part of Common Purpose, and I have actually put a request in to ask how many people within the organisation of the respiratory department and the ENT departments have been on Common Purpose courses. I've asked for a list of names. I've even asked for the paperwork from the respiratory department that I've dealt with a nurse who dealt with me.
Okay. Right, man, so what we'll do is we'll come back to that again in the next part for the filming. Okay, guys, we're going to go back to another song, Future Star Radio. and we'll come back again with Martin.